Imagine this. You're at home, enjoying your morning tea, when a sudden panic hits. You can't remember where your keys are. This week, it's happened again. You brush it aside with a chuckle. Just a fleeting lapse, you say? But what if it's not? What if it's not age, not stress, not even your diet, but something else, silently undermining you? In the UK, almost 1 in 6 individuals over 80 grapples with some type of dementia. The worldwide statistics are truly shocking. Genetics and age matter, but new research reveals a more manageable factor: the daily medications we choose. Medications have been our allies in battling pain, lowering blood pressure, calming anxiety, and finding restful sleep. Recent studies from top institutions like Harvard Health, Mayo Clinic, and the British Medical Journal unveil a troubling reality behind many of these supposedly safe prescriptions. It's alarming that widely prescribed medications for older adults could drastically heighten the chances of cognitive decline and lead to dementia. The shocking truth is that countless patients continue to receive these medications, often for extended periods, with little to no warning about the serious neurological risks they carry. Medications that affect the nervous system can provide fleeting relief, yet they come with a heavy price: your memory, your clarity, your independence. A 72-year-old woman, fresh from knee surgery, receives a low dose of painkillers to aid her recovery. Innocent, isn't it? In just a few months, her family sees her struggling to remember names, losing her way in places she once knew, and repeating the same questions over and over. 3 years later, she receives a diagnosis of early-stage dementia, not due to her age, but as a result of the cumulative cognitive toll from chronic opioid use. These are not just singular events. They are increasingly prevalent, under scrutiny, and raising alarm. Not everyone will feel these effects, but the danger increases sharply with prolonged use, high doses, or mixing various medications that alter brain chemistry. This piece transcends fear. It focuses on understanding and safeguarding. We will explore 9 distinct categories of medications, backed by clinical data and real-life stories, that are associated with accelerated cognitive decline in seniors. Discover the impact of each drug on your brain, from neurotransmitters to structural decline. The latest scientific research reveals a compelling link to dementia. Be alert for these signs if you or someone you care about is using any of these medications. And above all, the actions you can start taking now to safeguard your mind and your memories. Every section includes a concise guide on questions to ask your doctor, as informed choices can be the strongest medicine of all. Before we start, let's set the record straight. Not every medication is harmful. Countless lives are saved. Grasping the balance between risks and rewards is vital, particularly for your cognitive health. Once the brain starts to fade, there's no turning back the hands of time. If you're over 60, looking after an aging parent, or preparing for your own healthy future, join us on this journey. This could be the health article that changes everything for you this year. It's time to reveal the truth, beginning with the first and possibly the most perilous category of medication: opioids. Join us at Senior in Health for essential tips to remain sharp, strong, and independent after 60. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Part 1. Opioids, the hidden mind dimmer. For many, opioids evoke thoughts of alleviating suffering. These medications serve as a temporary escape, a means to navigate the aftermath of surgery, alleviate chronic back pain, or soothe the ache of arthritis. Yet, hidden beneath their calming allure is a harsh reality: a rapid descent into cognitive decline that few ever anticipate. Every year, millions of older adults in the UK and beyond receive prescriptions for opioids: oxycodone, morphine, codeine, fentanyl. These drugs form a potent lineup in the world of medicine. As research unfolds, opioids reveal themselves not just as painkillers, but as quiet destroyers of the aging brain. The impact of opioids on the brain. Opioids attach to certain receptors in the brain and spinal cord, powerfully halting pain signals. This mechanism offers essential relief for sufferers, yet it also influences the brain's reward system and memory areas, especially the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, crucial for learning, decision-making, and emotional processing. With time, steady use may result in breakdown in white matter integrity, linking various brain regions, stifling the brain's capacity to create new connections, reduced dopamine levels, numbing feelings and drive. Opioids do more than ease pain. they cloud the mind. The hidden dangers unveiled. A 2020 study in JAMA Neurology revealed that seniors who used opioids chronically experienced cognitive decline at a staggering 40% faster rate than those who did not. A recent review in the BMJ revealed a troubling connection between prolonged opioid use and increased risks of mild cognitive impairment, MCI, and early-onset dementia. Researchers have noted long-term opioid users experience profound structural brain changes, with memory-related areas shrinking dramatically, heightened chance of delirium, especially in hospitals, which in turn elevates the risk of long-term dementia. Struggles with planning, focus, and memory haunt the mind. These findings are real and impactful. These moments unfold in the lives of real people, day after day. Sheila's journey. The cost of relief. Consider Sheila, a 72-year-old from Bristol, who faced the life-changing journey of knee replacement surgery. Post-surgery, she received oxycodone to aid her healing journey. At first, she followed the instructions. A few weeks passed, then she sought a refill. The pain persisted, and so did the pills. Her husband observed the shifts. Her responses lagged. She hesitated mid-sentence, and once questioned why her bed was floating. She forgot the simple act of unlocking their front door, a routine she had mastered for years. In just 3 years, Sheila faced the harsh reality of early-onset dementia. What sparked this? Her neurologist suggests it's probably due to extended opioid use. Seniors face unique challenges that put them at greater risk. The aging brain faces a heightened vulnerability to chemical disturbances. With age comes change. The blood-brain barrier weakens, letting the drug penetrate deeper into the brain's core. As metabolism wanes, the struggle to eliminate opioids intensifies. The brain struggles more as neurotransmitter loss increases, leading to quicker damage accumulation. What is bearable for a young adult can turn harmful for a 70-year-old. Additionally, many older adults take several medications, heightening the chances of dangerous interactions and worsening cognitive effects. When is it safe? And when should you be concerned? Short-term opioid use, when guided by a doctor, can be crucial, especially after surgery. Yet, warning signs emerge. Lasts over 3 weeks, requiring higher doses for the same impact. Utilizing opioids for persistent pain, like arthritis or ongoing back discomfort. When a cherished person shows signs of forgetfulness, detachment, or disorientation, especially while using an opioid, it's crucial to seek answers. Actions you can take. Discover essential actions to safeguard your brain health as you navigate pain. Regularly consult a GP or geriatric specialist to review the medication list. Inquire, are there any alternatives to opioids? Explore physical therapy, acupuncture, or anti-inflammatory diets to find lasting relief from pain. Watch for early signs of cognitive shifts. Pay attention to those frequent senior moments. Above all, always seek medical advice before abruptly stopping opioids. Tapering is crucial to prevent withdrawal symptoms. A last reflection before we proceed. Suffering cuts deep. Yet, memory loss is just as profound. Opioids might offer a fleeting glimpse of improved living for some seniors, yet they often steal away mental clarity and independence in the shadows. Before you fill that next prescription, take a moment to reflect. Is this truly enhancing my life, or just dulling the alarms? Part 2. Benzodiazepines. The quick fix that fails. The allure of immediate tranquility is profoundly soothing. For seniors facing anxiety, grief, or insomnia, benzodiazepines provide swift comfort, restful sleep, and a tranquil mind. What appears harmless at first glance hides a troubling truth. Benzodiazepines could be reshaping the aging brain in perilous ways. Examples often prescribed are Valium, Ativan, Xanax, and Restoril. While typically considered safe for brief periods, these medications are now frequently used for months or even years, particularly by older adults, often without consistent evaluation or a complete understanding of the mental toll. The effects of benzodiazepines on the aging brain. Benzodiazepines amplify GABA's effects, the brain's main calming neurotransmitter. This lowers brain activity, creating a soothing effect, beneficial for anxiety or sleep in the moment. The brain is a living entity, deeply affected by ongoing suppression. Over time, benzodiazepines can lead to significant challenges. Stifle the creation of memories, especially in the hippocampus, the heart of memory in the brain. Disrupt slow-wave sleep, essential for brain detox and memory building. Hinders brain adaptability, complicating the process of learning new things or healing from injury. In older adults, as cognitive reserves wane, this suppression turns perilous. Proof of danger. A 2012 study in BMJ revealed that older adults using benzodiazepines for 3 to 6 months faced a 32% increased risk of dementia. The risk soared to 84% for those on the medication for over 6 months. Further studies have connected benzodiazepines to heightened chances of stumbling, disorientation, and emergency care, reduction in brain areas tied to judgment, orientation, and memory, a swift journey from mild cognitive impairment to Alzheimer's disease. Still, these medications are some of the most frequently prescribed sedatives for older adults in both the UK and US. Walter's journey from restlessness to oblivion. Walter, a 69-year-old widower from Manchester, turned to lorazepam for sleep after losing his beloved wife. His GP's words brought comfort. The relief washed over him instantly. Within a year, his daughter began to see the signs. Empty yogurt containers piled in the freezer, dates lost in confusion, and a checkbook discarded carelessly in the recycling. What began as grief-related confusion spiraled into something far more severe. 3 years on the medication, Walter received a diagnosis of moderate-stage dementia. The neurologist pointed to benzodiazepine overuse as a probable cause. Walter's tale echoes the struggles of many. The hidden dangers of these medications for seniors. The issue isn't solely the drug. It's the reaction of the aging brain. As we age, our bodies process benzodiazepines at a slower pace, causing these drugs to build up within us. The lingering sedative effect deepens confusion, amplifies daytime drowsiness, and heightens the risk of falls. These effects are frequently confused with normal aging, leading to a delay in diagnosis. Long-term use of benzodiazepines, even when taken as directed, can quietly hasten mental decline. What to keep an eye on. Be vigilant for signs if you or someone close is using a benzodiazepine. Declining memory recall. Lost in a haze, reality slips away. Strange actions, like collecting too much or losing things. Wandering through shadows, restless turmoil, or a numb heart. These may signal that the medication is affecting brain health. Heavy checkmark secure options and useful tips. Here's the bright side. There are alternatives to benzodiazepines. Safer choices exist. To rest. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI. A powerful, lasting solution that outshines sleep aids. Melatonin supplements or herbal remedies, guided by a professional. Enhance your sleep. Stick to a routine. Unplug at night. Embrace soothing rituals before bed. In moments of anxiety or grief, the heart feels heavy and the mind races. Each breath is a struggle, yet hope flickers in the shadows, urging us to hold on. Support circles or therapy. Awareness, stillness, and deep breaths. Antidepressants that don't cause drowsiness, guided by your GP. Above all else, stethoscope. Regularly consult a doctor about benzodiazepine use. Question: is this truly needed? If the answer is no, a carefully monitored tapering schedule is crucial. Stopping abruptly can lead to intense anxiety, tremors, or even seizures. Last reflection. In that instant, benzodiazepines appear to be the ideal solution. Swift, powerful, and comforting. For the aging brain, the long-term toll can be catastrophic. A remedy for rest or anxiety can silently rob you of your memories, your clarity, and your freedom. Awareness stands as the initial shield. If you or someone close to you is on these medications, it's crucial to dig deeper and seek the right answers. Part 3. Muscle relaxants. When alleviating pain takes a toll on the mind. Muscle relaxants are frequently viewed as harmless, a swift solution for alleviating stiffness, spasms, or persistent neck and back pain. For seniors, these medications may not just relax muscles, they can subtly numb the mind. Examples include cyclobenzaprine, carisoprodol, baclofen, and methocarbamol. Though they work quickly, these medications can lead to troubling memory problems, confusion, and the unsettling risk of early-onset dementia, particularly in the elderly. Their impact on the mind. Muscle relaxants calm the central nervous system, diminishing brain activity to relieve muscle tension. Yet that very numbness clouds focus, dulls awareness, and erases memories. Regular use may dull the mind over time. Heightened risk of falls and confusion. frequently misinterpreted as typical aging. A 2020 study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society revealed that seniors on long-term muscle relaxants faced a 36% increased risk of dementia. Yvonne's journey, a clouded mind. At 73, Yvonne started using cyclobenzaprine to combat her relentless neck pain. Her family observed strange actions. Once she poured milk into a shoe. Another time she inquired if her grandson's toy dinosaur was the president. Initially, they dismissed it as mere forgetfulness, chuckling at the thought. 2 years later, she faced a diagnosis of vascular dementia. Doctors believed that extended use of muscle relaxants was crucial. Understanding the vulnerability of seniors. As brains age, they struggle to process drugs swiftly, causing a dangerous accumulation. In older adults, sedation hits harder and lingers longer. For many seniors, mild memory issues are already present, and muscle relaxants only worsen these challenges. Even infrequent use can accumulate, quietly blurring perception and slowing response time. Actions you can take. Steer clear of prolonged muscle relaxant use unless it's truly essential. Discover alternatives such as physiotherapy, heat and cold therapy, and gentle stretching. Request the smallest dose for the shortest time if medication is necessary. Be alert to any growing forgetfulness or confusion, and consult your doctor without delay. Last reflection. What strengthens your muscles might weaken your memory. Muscle relaxants in older adults can pose unseen neurological dangers that frequently go unnoticed. When pain lingers, one must ponder, is this relief blurring my vision? Part 4. First-generation antihistamines, the sleep aid that could be damaging your mind. Countless seniors grab allergy or sleep aids off the shelf, often without a moment's hesitation. Pills such as diphenhydramine, Benadryl, and hydroxyzine, Vistaril, are affordable, accessible, and promoted as safe options. Many are unaware that these first-generation antihistamines could subtly heighten the risk of memory loss and dementia, particularly with prolonged use. What makes them dangerous? These medications inhibit acetylcholine, a crucial neurotransmitter for memory and learning. In aging brains, where acetylcholine levels drop, this blockade can deeply affect cognitive abilities. A 2015 study in JAMA Internal Medicine revealed a startling truth. Long-term use of first-generation antihistamines could elevate dementia risk by as much as 54%. Franklin's journey, a nightly ritual. At 71, Franklin started using diphenhydramine every night to find rest. In just a year, his family began to see unsettling signs. The same questions asked over and over. Belongings gone missing, and confusion on roads he once knew well. 3 years later, he received the devastating news of an early Alzheimer's diagnosis. Chronic use of antihistamines, doctors say, significantly impacted the situation. Their enduring presence. These substances are no prescription needed, promoted for relief from allergies, colds, and to aid sleep. Seniors unknowingly use it every day, unaware of the lasting impact it may have. Yet, their calming influence can mislead. They might be stealing the mind's clarity and edge. Actions you can take. Look for ingredient labels that include diphenhydramine or chlorpheniramine. Opt for second-generation antihistamines like loratadine. They have a reduced ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. Steer clear of using them for sleep. Explore natural methods or consult a doctor for safer alternatives. Last reflection. Just because a pill is available without a prescription doesn't mean it's safe. For seniors, these seemingly harmless allergy medications might be quietly eroding memory and mental sharpness. Don't sacrifice a peaceful night for a dulling mind. Part 5. Sleep medications. A price for peaceful slumber. For countless older adults, sleep slips away, and prescription sleep aids seem like a beacon of hope. Zolpidem, esopiclone, and temazepam offer the hope of serene slumber. Yet, beneath the quiet, these drugs could be inflicting a deeper harm, impairing the brain's innate capacity to recover and retain memories. The impact of sleep aids on the brain. Sleep medications don't create natural sleep, they merely sedate. This sedation interrupts slow-wave sleep, the essential phase for memories intertwine, shaping who we are, as fleeting moments solidify into lasting impressions. Clearing the mind. Deeply felt reflections. As time passes, these interruptions erode our thinking, cloud our minds, and hasten the aging of our brains. A 2019 study in the BMJ revealed a troubling connection. Frequent use of sleep medications may greatly increase the risk of dementia in seniors. Judith's tale, lost in the darkness. At 69, Judith struggled with insomnia and turned to zolpidem. In the dead of night, her family discovered her wandering the attic, lost and bewildered. She tangled names and wielded a fork to comb through her hair. At 71, she faced a diagnosis of mild cognitive impairment, the cause shrouded in uncertainty, save for the nightly pills she took. Unseen dangers. Sleep medications can be utilized every night, no feedback given, used for far too long, despite being meant for a brief period, joined with other sedatives, intensifying mental numbness. Older adults face heightened dangers from a slower metabolism and a heightened sensitivity of the brain to sedatives. Heavy checkmark. Your actions matter. Avoid long-term reliance on sleep pills, particularly beyond 2 to 4 weeks. Consider CBTI. It's powerful and secure. Embrace soothing rituals, a cup of warm tea, deep breaths, and a calming bedtime routine. If you're on sleep medications, consult your doctor for a safe tapering plan. Last reflection. A restful night is crucial, but not if it jeopardizes your memory and clarity. Pills may promise sleep, but they often carry a price you can't see. Question your reality. Is this true rest, or just a tranquil facade? Part 6. Statins, a double-edged sword? Statins, including atorvastatin, Lipitor, simvastatin, Zocor, and rosuvastatin, Crestor, rank among the most commonly prescribed medications globally. They cut cholesterol and slash the chances of heart attack and stroke. For older adults, particularly at high doses, statins may carry a hidden price: memory loss and cognitive fog. The impact of statins on brain health. Statins inhibit an enzyme essential for cholesterol production. That's beneficial for the heart, yet the brain relies on cholesterol to preserve the strength of the cell membrane, forge connections that spark the mind, ignite your mind. Statins diminish coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, crucial for energizing brain cells. As levels decline, brain cells fight to maintain their function. A 2020 study revealed that seniors using statins long-term faced a 58% higher risk of memory impairment. Hank's journey. Chaos unfolds post-exam. At 72, Hank received a high-dose statin following a routine cholesterol check. Months passed, and he drenched his pillow in orange juice, lost in the fog of forgetting his wife's name. At 75, he faced the harsh reality of early-stage dementia, with statin use looming as a possible cause. The choice. Statins are lifesavers, particularly following heart attacks or strokes. However, the advantages are not shared by all, particularly in cases of primary prevention, elevated cholesterol without heart disease. Older adults might experience heightened side effects, such as cognitive shifts, fatigue, and mood fluctuations. How you can help. Inquire with your doctor. Is this dosage appropriate for my age and risk factors? Explore options such as adjusting your diet, increasing physical activity, or reducing statin dosages. Think about CoQ10 supplements, but consult a doctor first. Keep an eye out for memory problems or brain fog, particularly after beginning or raising statin doses. Last reflection. Statins safeguard your heart, yet your brain deserves its own shield. Consider the pros and cons carefully, particularly when signs of cognitive shifts emerge. A resilient spirit matters, but a keen intellect is equally vital. Part 7. Proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, a journey from stomach relief to memory concerns. PPIs like omeprazole, Prilosec, pantoprazole, Protonix, and esomeprazole, Nexium, are frequently recommended for managing acid reflux and heartburn. For countless seniors, it's a ritual they embrace each day. Yet, prolonged use could unveil a lurking danger: diminished memory and a heightened risk of dementia. The impact of PPIs on the brain. PPIs lower stomach acid, yet this disrupts vitamin B12 absorption, crucial for a healthy mind. Calcium and magnesium absorption, vital for nerve function. The balance of the gut microbiome influences the gut-brain axis, impacting mood and cognition. A 2016 study in JAMA Neurology revealed that seniors using PPIs faced a 44% increased risk of dementia compared to those who didn't. Mabel's journey, a bitter fall. At 74, Mabel had relied on omeprazole for years. Strange symptoms emerged: metallic tastes, confusion, and a creeping paranoia. In a moment of confusion, she confused the kitchen sink with a toilet. Following a cognitive assessment, she received a diagnosis of early dementia. The doctor linked her struggles to prolonged PPI use and a lack of vitamin B12. The overlooked danger. PPIs are typically meant for brief periods, 4 to 8 weeks, yet countless seniors find themselves on them for years. Regarded as safe, side effects often go unnoticed. Countless older adults go unchecked for B12 levels, despite expressing concerns about their memory. Actions you can take. Consider your medication. Have you been on a PPI for an extended period? Consult your physician. Is this still necessary, or can I start to reduce it? If you've taken PPIs for over 12 weeks, consider checking for B12 deficiency. Explore natural options such as frequent, smaller meals, steering clear of spicy and fatty foods, resting with your head raised. Last reflection. PPIs relieve heartburn, yet they may gradually undermine your brain's support systems. The connection between the gut and the brain runs deep. If you're feeling hazy, absent-minded, or drained, it may not just be age, it could be your antacid. Finding relief from reflux shouldn't compromise your peace of mind. Part 8. Antipsychotics. Medications that could accelerate cognitive decline. Antipsychotics such as quetiapine, Seroquel, risperidone, Risperdal, and haloperidol, Haldol, aim to address conditions like schizophrenia and intense agitation. In numerous elderly patients, these medications are frequently given off-label, addressing sleep disturbances, behavioral challenges, or restlessness linked to dementia. The outcome? New evidence reveals that these drugs might actually exacerbate the cognitive decline they aim to treat. The impact of antipsychotics on the aging brain. Antipsychotics inhibit dopamine, a crucial neurotransmitter for memory, focus, and emotional balance. For seniors, this may result in disarray, indifference, and forgotten moments. Reduction in brain size, particularly within the frontal lobe. Increased chances of stroke, falls, and rapid dementia progression. A 2023 meta-analysis revealed that older adults on antipsychotics faced a notably heightened risk of cognitive decline, particularly with prolonged use. Leonard's tale, the reflective echo. At 71, Leonard faced a new chapter as he was prescribed quetiapine to help with his agitation. In just a few months, everything changed. He drizzled syrup into his soup and attempted to open the microwave with a house key. One day, he wondered why the reflection was responding. Not long after, Leonard received the devastating news of his early-stage dementia diagnosis. The antipsychotic was thought to have hastened his downfall, warning the vulnerability of seniors. As we age, our brains become increasingly vulnerable to the effects of dopamine disruption. These medications don't help dementia. They might make it worse. Frequently employed as a quick fix in care homes, neglecting the underlying issues. Heavy checkmark. Your actions matter. Constantly challenge the necessity of antipsychotics, particularly in the context of dementia care. Consult your physician. Are there alternative approaches for this behavior? Investigate the roots of agitation, be it environmental, emotional, or social, before considering medication. When prescribing antipsychotics, prioritize brief usage and regular reassessment. Light bulb. Last reflection. Antipsychotics can soothe actions, yet they may also mute thought. For countless seniors, the price outweighs the reward. Address the individual first, not merely the agitation. Part 9. Tricyclic antidepressants. Unveiling the emotional toll of traditional treatments. Tricyclic antidepressants like amitriptyline, nortriptyline, and imipramine have long been a lifeline for those battling depression, anxiety, insomnia, and chronic pain. For some, these older medications may work, but they exact a heavy toll on the aging brain. Heightened chances of memory loss, confusion, and dementia. The impact of TCAs on the brain. TCAs inhibit acetylcholine, a crucial neurotransmitter for remembrance, concentrate, the ability to adapt one's thinking and behavior in response to changing situations. This action might briefly alleviate depression, yet it dulls the mind, particularly in older adults with already diminished acetylcholine levels. Research reveals that prolonged use of TCAs can heighten the risk of dementia by as much as 45%, especially when paired with other anticholinergic medications. Delia's tale, milk for the wash. At 75, Delia started amitriptyline to combat her nerve pain. As time passed, her family grew concerned. She washed clothes in milk and claimed the ceiling fans were whispering secrets. What began as mere side effects spiraled into a deepening confusion. At 79, she faced the reality of moderate dementia. Her doctors attributed part of her decline to long-term TCA use. The concealed threat. TCAs remain a frequent choice for managing pain, insomnia, or migraines in older adults. Most people don't realize they are anticholinergic. Their impact on memory unfolds slowly, easily confused with the passage of time. Actions you can take. Consult your doctor. Is this the most secure antidepressant for someone my age? Consider newer alternatives such as SSRIs, like sertraline, that may spare you from cognitive side effects. Steer clear of mixing TCAs with other anticholinergic drugs. Watch for any hints of memory loss, disorientation, or shifts in character. Light bulb last reflection. Tricyclics were once revered, yet for seniors, they might gradually dull the mind. If you're still using one of these older medications, consider exploring if a safer alternative is available. Don't allow old treatments to rob you of future memories. Conclusion: safeguarding the mind before it's too late. Growing older is certain, but losing mental sharpness isn't a must. This guide reveals 9 categories of medications that, despite being prescribed with care, can quietly lead to memory loss, confusion, and even dementia in seniors. Among these are opioids, relief that conceals a heavy toll on the mind; benzodiazepines, soothing substances that slowly fade memories away; muscle relaxants, calming the body, numbing the thoughts; first-generation antihistamines, hidden dangers in your medicine cabinet; sleep medications, misinterpreting sedation as true rest; statins, essential for the heart, uncertain for the mind; PPIs, relief for the stomach, yet a disconnect within the gut-brain; antipsychotics, managing behavior, but losing insight; tricyclic antidepressants, classic medications, emerging worries. Every one of these medications has its own vital role. However, if used over an extended period without consistent evaluation or in inappropriate situations, they can cause more damage than benefit, particularly to the aging mind. Magnifying glass tilted left. What steps can you take immediately? White heavy checkmark. Review your medications, both prescription and over-the-counter. White heavy checkmark. Consult your doctor or pharmacist. Inquire if any impact memory or cognition. White heavy checkmark. Explore safer alternatives. Consider newer drugs, non-drug therapies, or lifestyle changes. White heavy checkmark. Watch for early cognitive changes. Forgetfulness, confusion, or unusual behavior are signs to investigate. White heavy checkmark. Never stop medication suddenly. Always taper under medical supervision. A last note of hope. What you remember: your freedom, your capacity to think, to connect, to recall names, places, and emotions. These are treasures to safeguard. Embrace aging with clarity and dignity, free from the shadows of concealed pharmaceutical dangers. Pose your inquiries. Take the initiative. And if you're looking after someone, let their voice be heard. Once cognitive decline begins, reversing it can become a daunting, often hopeless task. Awareness is the first step in safeguarding your brain. Today marks your first step forward. Backhand index pointing right. If this resonated with you, pass it on to someone special. Subscribe to our channel Wisdom and Wellness for essential health tips, memory protection insights, and proven strategies that truly matter. Pushpin your mind is vital. Nurture its strength and clarity.